guys, welcome to my eyeshadow declutter. These are mainly my drugstore eyeshadows, and if you have followed me for a while, I have been blogging and making YouTube videos for about like 7 years now, and a lot of these I've collected throughout the years, and they were just sitting in my Alex drawer, so I am getting rid of them because they're pretty old and I'm not attached to them whatsoever. So I'll just point out which one's which so that we don't disturb the pile. These are my drugstore eyeshadow palettes that I've collected throughout the years, and I will show a before of my Alex drawer. I used to keep my drugstore eyeshadows in 2 drawers, so now I only have them in 1, and I'll show you that after. And then I'm keeping one clear drawer that's mainly just for memories, and I just can't quite let go of them. So on this pile over here I have this one, which is from JCat. It's just a glitter. I don't really need it. And then I used to collect these when NYX came out with collections from way back in the day, and this was the runway collection, and I got all of them, and I kept the boxes because I stored them like this in the drawer, and I don't even know if I've used all of these, but I really like the box because so I know which one to grab. So this is one of the palettes. This is what it looks like on the inside. It had a mirror and it looks like this. And the next collection that I used to collect from NYX is NYX Love in Paris, and I collected these because I was like pretty new, and I just liked having most of the colors that they released. And throughout the years I've stopped paying attention to the releases, and I had those, so I never really wanted to buy new ones. And then these were my L'Oreal eyeshadow palettes. I kept one just because I was slightly attached to it, but for the most part I don't really use these anymore. These are really old, so these are getting tossed. And then who remembers these Revlon ones? I'm keeping one in Copper Spice because that one's kind of iconic and it's a very good palette, and I almost miss this Revlon formulation because this was the best one that they came out with, so I'm getting rid of those. I have a couple from Almay. This was my favorite drugstore one. This one is for green eyes, and you only need 3 shades, and this was so good. And then these are my CoverGirl ones, and these are gonna go. I only kept one just for memories, but these ones I don't use anymore, so they're getting tossed. And then these ones, the Revlon ones, when they're reformulated, they're not any good whatsoever, so I'm not really sad that these are gonna go. So those are out of here. And then for Wet n Wild, I have this group right here, and then this one's right here. I used to collect these throughout the years. I'm still keeping quite a bit because I worked really hard on finding those. So I'll show you the ones that's in my clear bucket over there. And then, so these ones are going, so I have a few of their older ones, and then I'm only getting rid of one of these because I really didn't like the color scheme of that one. But for the most part, these are gonna go. And then I had to look this up if this brand was still around, but it's City Color Cosmetics. I bought a whole bunch of their products because I was going to do a super cheap makeup video, but I never did, and I never used these. So these are pretty old, so these are going. And then I'm not sure if Jane Cosmetics is still around, but I love these little palettes. I think Jane Cosmetics had the best eyeshadow palettes, and I love these, but I'm getting rid of them because they're old. Essence came out with these smaller Sun Club palettes. I know they have bigger palettes now, but this one was pretty good. It's cute, tiny. I don't need it. Milani, I loved these palettes. I think these were one of their best formulations, and like the combination for these quads were so nice. Like, for example, this green one is just absolutely stunning, and this one has really nice pigmentation, but sadly it's just really old, but it's just so beautiful. Like, every time I look at it, it makes me want to keep it, but I know I haven't used it. I know it's old and you're not supposed to use it, but these ones, I think they need to bring back these color combinations, especially the green one and this one, because it's so nice. This one I got from NYX. It's just one of their small NYX palettes, but I've never used it. Don't need it. It's old, needs to go. When H&M first came out with their makeup, I went and bought their eyeshadow palettes so I could like review and do a tutorial on them, but I never used these, so these are going. e.l.f. has come a long way since coming out with their $1 makeup collection, and I love these little $1 palettes, so I have like all of them, but I never use them. I just bought them to collect. It's time for them to go. And then I have this pile right here is for Maybelline. I actually declared a lot of my Maybelline palettes already, and I'm keeping one which is in Chai Latte, which is like a really iconic old quad, but this one is Natural Smokes, and this one's pretty beat up. I was gonna keep it just for the memories, but really I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to toss it. And then these ones are really good quality, but I just never reached for them, so they're going to be decluttered. I have these ones from L'Oreal. I don't really like the colors. And then this one was the Project Runway one. It's just really old, but this one's a really pretty palette, and it was really pigmented too. Another awesome collection from Milani was their Runway Eyes. These were really popular back in the day. I didn't even realize I still had it in my collection. This is really old, really nice. I wish it's like they're baked eyeshadows, and they had a really nice theme for each palette, but they're old, so they're going. Physicians Formula used to make these. This is my favorite basics eyeshadow palette when I first started because they were really nice matte eyeshadows, and this was like my most used one. I think I almost panned this one. I bought these just to collect them. This one's from Physicians Formula as well, but I never used them, and I just didn't like these palettes because they're really tiny, so these ones are gonna go. And then same for these. The baked eyeshadows are actually really nice from Physicians Formula, but this one was like a random one, but I actually use this a lot because I kept this in my makeup bag. So I bought this LA Colors eyeshadow palette when I was doing like the $1 the Dollar Tree makeup challenge, and I don't need them, and I don't really use them. I don't need them anymore. They're old, so they're gonna go. I got a whole bunch of these cargo quads, and they're old and they're really pretty. Cargo eyeshadows are really nice, but I don't really use them, so this is gonna go. I got this Paula Dorf one, and I don't really like this. I think I got it from Marshall's, and the fallout of this was so bad. For a high-end product, I did not like this. This is the Go Beijing palette from Coastal Scents. Coastal Scents used to make these little Go palettes that has colors from their big palette, and that one's just gonna go. This one's from MAC. I don't really have a lot of MAC, and I just bought this. I think I bought this from the outlet, and these are the shades on that one. This is really old, just needs to go. Over here was my Pop Beauty little collection. They made these eye cakes. These are so old. This is a little brown dress by Pop. I think I got it from like Nordstrom Rack or something. It was really cute. And this like colorful palette, really old, needs to go. And then I have this tiny palette from Stila that I don't use, and then this sleek one. This blush is really pretty, but I don't really use it, so this is gonna go. And then the NYX Wicked Dreams palette. I think I got this from Urban Outfitters for like really cheap, but I never really used this, so this is gonna go. I got this palette from Lorac. I think it has a blush in the middle, and then all the eyeshadows are surrounding it. And I think these are like cream products. I just didn't like that the cream products are in there. And the eyeshadow and the blush is really pretty, but this is like ancient. This is one of my most beat up palette. This is the NYX Warm Neutrals palette. This is one of the most perfect warm neutrals eyeshadow palettes, one of my favorites, but it's definitely time to go since this is pretty old, but we had a lot of good memories. This one's a Tarte palette. This one came with like a bronzer, highlight, and then eyeshadows. I just didn't really like the color scheme of that one. I was contemplating about getting rid of this because it's so cute. This is the e.l.f. Little Black Book Day Edition, and I made a video on this. I made a video tutorial, and I love this palette. It has like warm tones in here and it has the more cooler tone neutrals in there. But it's so cute, and it has a spine on it, and it says little black book beauty edition. It might I might keep it in my little box over here. There's another Stila palette. I used to collect these, but again, I don't use that. One of the bigger palettes that I'm getting rid of, this is Cargo Cosmetics Shanghai Nights palette, and this one was awful. Like, they had the fall palette and then this came out, and this one was just not good at all. And it has really pretty like bright colors, so that one is getting tossed. And I have these palettes that have single shadows that are like really beat up, and this is my very first like freestyle eyeshadow palette, and I don't remember the company that made this, but it's really old and it's not like a good freestyle palette now that Z palettes are around now. So excited when these first came out, so I like bought 4 and filled them up with eyeshadows, and like I wasn't very good with depotting eyeshadows, so everything I just ruined basically all the eyeshadows. But it's time for them to go, so we had some good memories. And so this clear drawer is basically kind of like my vintage drawer that I can't get rid of. So so technically I should be decluttering these, but they were like my collectibles that I can't quite get rid of, so I made this drawer specifically just for these ones. And a lot of them are the Wet n Wild collection, the trios, and I have a few of the bigger ones because I took a long time trying to find those, so they are staying in my collection. And then I'm just keeping one of the Revlon and one of the Maybelline ones. This is Copper Spice. Mainly because I have good memories for those. I'm just going to keep one just to keep in my collection. And then for these ones, I have these Sonia Kashuk ones, since Sonia Kashuk doesn't sell makeup anymore, and these were really nice. I have a few of their quad eyeshadows, and I just had like the basics. So I'm just going to keep that here, and then one palette from Physicians Formula. And then I'll show you guys my other drugstore drawer that I kept. So I used to have 2 drawers in my Alex drawer of my eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore that I kept. So this is the ones that I decided to keep. So I have the Milani Pure Passion and like Bold Obsessions over there, and then the Maybelline Lemonade palette. These are the e.l.f. ones that they come out. I have a few random Pixie singles over there. I have these ones are from Sleek. And I love these, so I'm not getting rid of them. So these are like the I Divine palettes. So I have a few of them. I have a few NYX. This one is the Happy Birthday palette. It's really pretty, and it's special. It says Happy Birthday. And then I have the Earth one, and then these ones are like the Rimmel big palettes that I haven't used. So I want to get that one used. These ones over here are some of the Wet n Wild ones, the newer version of their palettes, so I kept that over here. And these are the Maybelline ones, the bigger ones, so I got rid of the smaller ones and keeping these. I have a Catrice palette, a few from Pixie. I'm not sure what this nude one is. This one is from JCat Beauty, and then just have a few of random ones over here. So I think I did a pretty good job of clearing out my Alex drawer. So that is it for my eyeshadow declutter video and for my lip declutter, and then I will do a quick makeup collection video, since I've never really done one, mainly because it's like people always say that you're bragging when you do a makeup collection video, so I've never done one in my channel. But if you guys are curious, I will film one so you guys can take a peek of my palette library.